And it's clearly not the end of the story, because he was fact-checked, but he still remains unrelenting. So there is no end to the rant by Trump's close aide Peter Navarro, who has been fact-checked on social media X, and yet he does not seem to be stopping, because yet again he has taken to social media with his same old anti-India rant. Now, it may be bereft of facts, but that hasn't stopped him from yet again taking to social media. And this is what he has gone on to say in his latest post. And remember, he has put out this image. This was his earlier claim where he said that India's tariffs are costing US and whatnot, after which this is the community notes. This is where he was fact-checked. Extremely embarrassing, because he is somebody who was trying to go on an anti-India rant, and then you have a community notes, a fact-check that came in to call out everything that he was saying in his post. Now, that is a picture that he has put out, and then he goes on to say, should X put up posts like one below, where foreign interests masquerade as objective observers and interfere with domestic US economics and politics? And he says, see screenshot, take poll on the next post. And that's what he goes on to say. So he is actually accusing Elon Musk of having propaganda, as he calls it, on social media X, clearly not wanting to see the fact check. He says on the earlier post, you can see Indian special interests trying to interfere with domestic dialogue. How is it domestic dialogue when very clearly the fact check is on the claims that he has been making about India? It says lies about India buying Russian oil. Should X or Twitter present this as comments from diverse viewpoints? That's what he goes on to say, and this is the poll that he has put out as well. And let's go across to Srinjoy for that viewpoint. Srinjoy? So Peter Navarro is clearly very, very unhappy. He's throwing a tantrum now, much bigger than the one of Trump, because he has been called out. But where is it propaganda or foreign interference, as he call it? He is merely being called out for his own wrong claims.
First of all, India is buying Russian oil. Yes. Why is India buying Russian oil? India is buying Russian oil because the Russians are offering their oil at an inexpensive price. India is not a very wealthy country. India does not have per capita income of about $60,000 plus, like America. And India needs this oil for its 1,400 million people. Now, President Trump had said he would end the war in one day. So the war in the Ukraine would have ended on the 21st of January. Today, we are well into September. Now, why hasn't President Trump been able to end the war? He'd been promising to end the war in one day all through that election campaign. Now, if the war ends tomorrow, the oil prices will come down dramatically. And then India will not have to go to Russia and buy Russian oil, because world prices would be very, very reasonable. So if that is so, President Trump should well concentrate on ending the war. And that would be the best way of ensuring that India does not buy Russian oil, and therefore no sanctions have to be imposed.
Yes.
That's a clear point, isn't it?
Absolutely. And, you know, it's inexplicable on what's happening within the Trump administration. On one hand, you had Trump praising Prime Minister Modi, and his aide continues with this anti-India rant. Is it the good cop, bad cop being played by the Trump administration? Because remember, viewers, Trump himself had put on a charm offensive for Prime Minister Modi recently, and it was all of a sudden, shortly after saying that India had been lost to the deepest, darkest China. Trump spoke about the special ties with India.
I always will. I'll always be friends with Modi. He's great. Prime Minister, he's great. I'll always be friends, but I just don't like what he's doing at this particular moment. But India and the United States have a special relationship. There's nothing to worry about. We just have moments on occasion.
I think Prime Minister Modi obviously attaches enormous importance to our partnership with the United States. And where President Trump is concerned, he's always had a very good personal equation with President Trump. But the point is, look, we are engaged, we remain engaged with the United States, and at this time, I can't say more than that.
देश की फॉरेन पॉलिसी को एक नया स्वरूप दिया है जिसमें नेशनल इंटरेस्ट, हमारे नागरिकों का हित, हमारे किसानों का हित, मिडिल क्लास फैमिलीज को उनको सेफगार्ड करने का ध्यान में रख के एक ओवरऑल एक ऐसी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव पॉलिसी फ्रेमवर्क प्रधानमंत्री जी ने इन 11 वर्षों में रखा है जो हमने 50-60 वर्षों में कभी नहीं देखा था। उसके कारण विश्व भर में भारत के प्रति एक नया ट्रस्ट है और यूएस बहुत बड़ी डेमोक्रेसी है, भारत विश्व की मदर ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी है। इन दोनों डेमोक्रेसीज के बीच में अच्छा रिलेशन रहना स्वाभाविक है।
More breaking updates now coming in. Trump has vowed secondary sanctions on Russia when he was asked about imposing